Do you remember this infamous viral moment where poor Rob Lowe was stuck in this NFL hat because he didn't want anybody to think that he was rooting for the 49ers, right, at that Niners game. So he's stuck there in the crowd, like we wouldn't recognize the guy wearing his NFL stuff, right? Trying to be impartial, trying to be neutral, just trying to keep his own middle road here, not trying to offend the guys on the right, the left, whatever team is playing. He's just trying to rock. He's just here. Go sports. Go teams. Plural. That's what we are, right? Well, look, my team is playing earlier in the day. So I have to be impartial here, not just from a betting standpoint, blah, blah, blah. Nobody knows your team like you. But I can't come out in all red and tell you who I'm rooting for, right? And the NFL parlay is back. By the way, you know who I'm rooting for? Big Red. Give me the Chiefs. Let's go. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. You know the drill. By the way, I would never just wear an NFL, okay? This is NFL alumni, so we support the players. All right, first, I'm not Rob Lowing you here by any means, and I told you we're going Big Red as far as who wins this thing. There's no need to play this at minus 125. The game's not going to end with a 1-point margin of victory. It's such a low-key number on the docket that it should not even matter as far as laying 1.5 or even technically 2.5. 14% of games we know fall on 3. This has been a historic year for the number 3 as far as a key number, especially early in the season. And you know what? This game probably will come down to a field goal, something along those lines. 2 points, that's fine. We can clearly roll with this. By the way, you want some numbers behind it? How about Patrick Mahomes? Depending on when you got him, he may be a dog. He may fit some of this, but the reality is Mahomes is 40-9 straight up at home, 6-3 straight up, 9-0 against the spread as a dog, and 9-3 in 6-point teasers in the postseason. So even if you wanted to meaninglessly run a 6-point teaser through 0, it wouldn't even do you any favors or anything like that. This is normally teased down in this case, or if you got them as a dog and you teased them up, well, let's look at this. The Chiefs open up minus 1.5 here as far as opening up in our same game parlay as the first leg. Let me tell you, you can turn $5 into $200. This will be quick. It'll be painless, but I want to change somebody's betting opportunities here and give them a bankroll, $200 bankroll. Now, you have to be 21 or older. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, and you have to live in a state where you can legally gamble, right? All good. Now, there's a QR code next to my big-ass ugly head. There's a link below my big-ass flapping mouth. Either way, it's going to bring you to the same spot, which is DraftKings. It's going to take you 90 seconds. That's it, 90 seconds to sign up. Put $5 in. That's it, $5. And then immediately put that $5 on the Eagles to cover the spread. Eagles-Chiefs, Super Bowl. Oh, you're good with that? I'm good with that. Hey, you don't need, right, like I'm saying before you see this, right, before the game kicks off, right, because you're going to watch this before 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. You want the Eagles. As soon as you place the wager, as soon as you see this video, sign up, place the wager, $200 right back into your account. You don't even need to wait for these games to kick off. You can use that $200 on whatever you like. All right. This is where I think it gets a little tricky here. We're not playing with totals. This isn't a blowout, anything along those lines. Joe Mixon has a strong chance to carry some pretty big rushing yards behind him. And what I love about Mixon's chances are, first off, the Chiefs defense, prime for pass rush. We'll talk about that coming up. But in this case, I think you're looking at what Joe Mixon has been able to do, even with a makeshift, and it's not fair to call him that because these guys are quality backups. They're just not starters on a good line when they're healthy. And I know they've had some issues, but they've tightened those issues up until they got hurt again. Point being is that Mixon found some space last week against a much better run defense. Zach Taylor, like, they can't move away from running the football. It's going to take some pressure off of Burrow, especially because they can run the football. It's one thing if you're not running the football well, it's like, shit, we got to keep running the football. They'll be fine. Mixon's going to take some big chunk yardage out of the Chiefs defense. Sorry, Spags, we got to do it, but like Mixon going over 64.5 yards in this game and taking some advantage, really some spot advantage of areas where you can target. All right, Mixon, Chase, Kelsey, Pacheco even. I think you're going to look at some opportunities for all of these guys to get into the end zone. The one that I do think, and again, this is an Andy Reid score. This is an Andy Reid type game where it's going to be somebody random. And maybe it is Juju. Maybe it is somebody along those lines. Scantling, pardon me. But Jerick McKinnon shouldn't be surprising. And maybe that is fair value or close to it or below it based on how you can look at this. But McKinnon is going to be the guy who takes away the touchdown from Pacheco, is going to be the guy who takes away the touchdown from Travis Kelce. So think about it from that standpoint. And again, I'm not saying Andy Reid has anything to do with the odds, the spread, and the number, anything along those lines, but I can tell you this from somebody who's watched Andy for 14 years in Philadelphia and has seen it in Kansas City with an extra eye on him there. He's got these random play. I'm not talking about the Arctic Circle. I'm just saying expect the unexpected. And this isn't even that unexpected, but expect the vulture touchdown. And we love being ahead of the vulture. And in this case, it's Jerick McKinnon. And we love you, young man, because you're going to make us some money here. So that's it. I'm going to add something crazy and special here before we get out. But I just want to show you the standard baseline 3-leg parlay plus 950, Chiefs minus 1.5, over 64.5 rushing yards for Mixon, Jerick McKinnon, anytime touchdown. All right, you only have like 2 days left. That's it. 2 days left to join my insider channel. We have parlays for days, all right? The NFL season is coming to a close, but we are throwing out NBA parlays on the daily, college basketball parlays on the daily, NHL shots on goal parlays on the daily. Don't tell Andy. That's his area. I'm not trying to step on any toes. We're just throwing some shit out when we see it, okay? But we're hitting you with multiple sport parlays, tons of it, all right? That's why I'm here, to throw that crazy shit with you, because we know you love the crazy shit just like I love the crazy shit. So join. 2 days left to take advantage of this first free week. Can you show me something, Shander? Yes. At the start of the playoffs, January 11th, we jumped in on Joe Mixon plus 1,000 most playoff rushing yards, Christian McCaffrey plus 500 most playoff rushing yards. At the time, those odds were better than their respective teams winning their respective conferences. So you've essentially made a bet at the start of the year, because Mixon and McCaffrey can't win this unless their team ideally goes to the Super Bowl. And look at this. We're in pretty good shape, not only because these two teams are playing, and I know we went against them, but you know what? Maybe I got something. Maybe there's a little hedge there in my head. The reality, though, is that there's a gap. There's a significant gap. ETN out. Barkley out of here, to quote the old giant KRS-One. Daniel Jones out of here. Tony Pollard out of here. So you've got Miles Sanders and you've got Kenneth Gainwell, and that's pretty much it. That's all I'm worried about right now. Pacheco, I love you, kid, but not to that extent where I'm nervous. Oh, yeah. ES Insider. That's the code. All right. Told you. I told you. Let's do this, because I love adding, if we can, because we know that there are issues with the line. Let's put 2 sacks in for Chris Jones. It doesn't mean the pressure won't be there. It doesn't mean that the Bengals, that the Chiefs won't be able to get to Joe Burrow. Now, Joe Burrow is going to be fine as far as being able to move the football and staying in this game. I have no doubt. I don't think this is a blowout, but that doesn't mean he won't be sacked. Chris Jones is going to 2 sacks to add to this and now get a 65-1 super powered ticket. Sign me up. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Go Birds.